5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. Man, it's good to be back. Okay, man, I'm back again. All right. Guess who's back? Back again. Yes, it's not some lame-o Dennis the Menace looking rapping chode from 8 Mile. No, it's yours truly, Van, your humble host of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, back after a long 4th of July vacation off. Okay, but man, it's so heartwarming to, get back here to Hearth and Home and to all of you here that I thoroughly enjoy bringing movie information and woke after school special warnings to, and movie military moments as well, presenting them to the masses. But you're not just the masses, you're my family, you're my friends. So welcome. I know if you're getting a little teary-eyed and emotional, that's the effect I was going for. Okay. So, but with that said, tonight we will be going over MaXXXine. Yes, MaXXXine, the third and final movie in the Ty West X trilogy. Okay. But yeah, just wanted to preview that. And so let's get this going. But before that, let me give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right. Yes, it is almost the weekend. It's Thursday night. It's pre-Friday, everybody. And so, in addition to watching this fantastic program, if I may say so myself, Movies Merica spoiler warning, I'm hoping that you're kicking back with a tasty ice-cold beverage or some kind of beverage or something like that, and get your feet kicked up, maybe in your best Barca lounger. Maybe you're in a hammock. Maybe you're floating in a hammock or sitting in a hammock, laying in a hammock, on your favorite yacht. Who knows? I mean, maybe we got some billionaire fans of this show, but that not being said right there, I wanted, just to let you guys know that, again, we're talking about MaXXXine here, and we are going to get very in-depth, and I would be remiss if I didn't remind everybody this is a spoiler-heavy show, hence the name of the show right there, okay? But welcome, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. You know who you are. And with that, let's get right into MaXXXine, shall we? Okay, without further ado, I'm just delaying the inevitable right here. And so I have to tell you, man, this movie takes me back to the 80s, which for most of the 80s, I personally was in my teens. Now, my 80s also included the time where parents were just scared shitless about Satan getting their kids from listening to music and watching movies and TV, etc. So it was kind of like the 80s version of the satanic panic that we saw back in the 70s, right? You had in the 80s, you had Tipper Gore going in front of Congress and, the devil is going to get your kids if they listen to Twisted Sister. And then Dee Snider from Twisted Sister would come in after her, and Congress is like, yeah, that bitch doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. So so it was those days where, your parents unwisely, they did the unwise move of telling their kids, there's these record albums, there's these movies we don't want you to go see. And of course, what does that make kids want to do? They want to listen to that very record, and that they want to watch that very movie that their kids or that their parents are telling them, don't go see that, Junior. The devil will get you. Okay. So yeah. And parents always make that mistake. They don't, it's just it's a generational thing. And I'm sure there's some parents that are smart enough to get past that and realize, don't warn kids from, music and movies and whatnot, because that's the number one way to draw them to those exact things. Better just to just shut your trap, okay? And let your kids make mistakes, okay? And if the worst mistake they ever make in life is, ooh, they saw a R-rated horror movie. Oh my God. Ooh, so scary. Oh my God. Okay. Come on. But it was far from a boring time in the 80s. Things seemed subversive and grimy. And of course, as a kid, that's what you're drawn most to. Okay. I mean, mom and dad want me to watch Hee Haw. Not gonna do it. Now, the subplot with the Night Stalker, along with the naughtiness of the LA adult entertainment scene and the soundtrack featuring some metal, reminds me of the debauched, excessive 80s. Okay, if you were old enough in the 80s, you remember what I'm talking about, right? I mean, Vince Neil, Tommy Lee, and Motley Crue could have shown up suddenly in the middle of this movie, and they would have fit right in like a glove. Of course, there would have had to be some scantily clad pleasure princesses in leather with fishnet stockings and thigh highs surrounding them, just to complete the whole image. But that's the idea I got, because in this movie you had dark alleys and and not very well lit, and neon, and it had just recently rained, so you had the puddles in the alley, and then you had the neon of the Sunset Strip, and everyone is just dressed up like they're straight out of a White Snake video, and just the sleaze and skis just drips from this movie MaXXXine, which gives it a little bit of much of its charm, I should say. Not a little bit, man. What am I talking about? Much of its charm right there. But and let me know here in the live chat there, because that's something you can do since this show is live. You can live chat with me on Rumble or YouTube or Pilled. And let me know. I mean, did you feel the same way about MaXXXine I did with the sleaze, and the griminess? Didn't feel like Ty West, the director, just did a bang up job at simulating the 80s and the grimy part of the 80s, specifically like the 80s LA sex scene. Did it really just kind of like bring that forth in present day? I think he just did a fantastic job at doing that. And so when I was watching it, I got a little tear to my eye, to be quite frankly, be quite frank with you there. It got me a little emotional because it reminded me of those days right there. And it helped that, there was like Judas Priest, they played a Judas Priest jam in this, a Rat jam in here. They also had like a Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I think, Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, I think, is the Frankie Goes to Hollywood jam that they played in this. So just, really did a good job. And fantastic. And I mean, this movie really, because it did that.
She's gone from suck to blow.
It never went from that. Never went to that. Although there was a porn scene in this early in the movie, so maybe there was some, going from suck to blow in that scene, but it was very quick and whatnot. So, but
it's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
I know, but I digest right there. So, but again, yes, everybody here, if you have somebody that you even remotely suspect would enjoy this show right now, maybe that they like horror movies and they undoubtedly have seen MaXXXine, then send them the link to this episode right now so they could join live and they could live chat with me right now all about MaXXXine. So now, as of right now, we do have some big news on the political front kind of going on and whatnot. And so I'm expecting lower attendance numbers, lower live chat numbers right now. So I can't compete with that right there. I'm just a lowly movie reviewer with my little show here, Movies Merica, spoiler warning. But maybe that'll eventually get over with and people will start kind of migrating like Boyd's heading south into this show right here, and we'll talk about some serious MaXXXine and whatnot. So, all right. So let me do this here real quick here, because I just want to keep things, diversified, that kind of thing, because we're all about diversity here at Movies Merica, spoiler warning, all about diversity and equity and inclusion. Okay. So, and with that, to give you a diverse perspective, just wanted to let you guys know about the tdpn.locals.com website that you see up there at the very top. And the tdpn.locals.com website is where you're going to find all our Till Death Podcast Network. That's what the TDPN stands for. Content all about movies and entertainment and politics and hot button topics of the day. Okay, we got videos and blogs and articles, all that stuff. We got music items in there, music stuff in there from Sean. He's a fantastic bass guitarist, and so he puts his gigs on there and musical information and life advice. He's got life advice books out there, so he puts life advice oriented articles out there, because who couldn't use a little life advice? Am I right? Come on, well, maybe not me. I think I pretty much got this whole life thing figured out, and I'm batting 1,000 every day. But maybe you need a little help right there. And so, what a great reason to go to tdpn.locals.com to enhance your life, or see some great cocktail recipes, or learn about movies or TV, that kind of thing, all in a way that you are not going to find anywhere else. All right, you can believe that. Okay, would I lie to you? No. So get there right now, and as you see down below right now, if you put in promo code TDPN, you get 1 month free membership to tdpn.locals.com. And then after that 1 month goes away, it's just a measly $3 minimum to have full carte blanche, unrestricted access to the whole website. So at least, just a minimum of $3. Okay, so a measly $3 will make you a VIP of the website right there. Okay, so let me adjust something right there. Do a little house cleaning. There we go. I want to adjust that camera. There we go. Got to have everything perfect. Okay, so yeah, what was I just saying about me having life all figured out and I'm batting 1,000? Yeah, okay, so fail. But get to tdpn.locals.com before all your friends do, because you want to have bragging rights and say, hey, I got there first, man. So do it right there. Okay. And then also, hey, while you're here watching the show, and if you're feeling charitable, go ahead and just smash that like button right down there. Okay, it's right there. It's tantalizing you. It's calling to you to smash it. Okay, and then also, hey, feel free if you want to go like crazy. You want to go to all my other episodes and hit the like button on those. No problem, man. I'll tell you, you have my full endorsement to do that very thing. And then also, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe or follow button. Also down there, okay? And then also hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so that you get notified of hot, sizzling, fresh. Is that a fresh Movies Merica spoiler warning episode I smell? Oh, it smells so good. If only I would have known ahead of time. Well, you can know ahead of time if you click that notification bell down there, all right? And then also, if you happen to be watching this as a recording, you're not watching it live, then hey, I still want to hear from you. Okay, I want to have this a line of communication between us. All right, I don't want this just to be me just blah 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 blah, to you, and I never hear anything back. Okay, and so to that end, go ahead and get in the comments down there underneath. Okay, so you got the description down there, and you got the comments section down there as well. And yeah, comment to me. Let me know. Hey, is there anything as hard as it is for me to believe? But is there anything that you feel I could do to improve the show, okay? Or is there anything you like? And if there is, let me know, and then I'll do more of it, okay, if I can. And or if there's a movie you want me to review, you can most definitely let me know that here. Now, all I ask, the only caveat to that is I ask that it's a movie that more than 5 people are going to want to hear a review for, that more than 5 people are going to enjoy a review for, okay? I'm not reviewing Toe Jam the motion picture. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay, so no, not doing that. Or some obscure Lifetime movie that came out in 1998. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, so but otherwise, go crazy and let me know of a movie that you want me to review. Okay, or let me know what you think about MaXXXine. Anything about MaXXXine in the comments. That's cool. All right, so. All right, let's move on with a little MaXXXine. There we go. That's all, folks. So yeah, let's get into a little bit more MaXXXine right there. And I have to say here, this is one of the aspects of this movie that I really did enjoy. And I don't think they did this intentionally, but I think this movie, MaXXXine, again, very likely unintentionally, because this is a Hollywood movie and we know about how they feel about this particular subject. I think MaXXXine made a very strong case for women carrying guns. I mean, think about that scene in the alley with MaXXXine. I mean, horrible things would have befallen our beloved MaXXXine if she didn't have that gun in that alley. I mean, but however, with her life-saving gun, it evened the odds against that sick-ass psycho with the switchblade dressed up like Buster Keaton. And then MaXXXine proceeded to buster his twig and berries pretty good. I remember in my theater, and I'm sure pretty much every other theater that had at least one dude in it, in my theater, there was a audible gasp from the particular sex with their own set of twig and berries. Okay, if you know what I'm saying, because I know that. Yeah, I was there with some friends and whatnot, and just the whole theater, all the dudes, pretty much in that scene were like, ugh. And then they all checking down there to make sure theirs were still there. I know I was, but yeah, and it was fantastic. It's good to see. It's good to see a woman, get back at some sick bastard that was gonna, probably rape her and worse and whatnot. And with the power of firepower, okay, she was able to not become a victim and basically do to this guy what he deserved to have done to him. Okay. I mean, this movie, it should have been financed by the NRA or something like that. So, or the USCCA or something like that. I mean, it's I would not be surprised. I mean, maybe I didn't catch it in the end credits, maybe at the bottom of the end credits, where they have all we'd like to thank these people. Maybe the NRA is in there. Maybe the USCCA is in there. But this is a great movie to really use, or at least that scene is, if you've got a beloved girl in your life, whether it's your daughter, your sister, your wife, whatever, your grandma, and you know that they live in a sketchy area, and that they're very sketchy about the prospect of carrying a gun, carrying a protective weapon on them. Well, just show them this scene right here and to say, hey, you don't want to be MaXXXine without a carry weapon on her, right? I mean, because that if you were MaXXXine in the scene and you didn't have a weapon, think of the god-awful things that would be happening to you, okay, in that alley right there. But thanks to a legally obtained gun, you avoided being basically turned into human coleslaw right there. So I mean, this that scene right there is very, very persuasive right there. Because God knows there's a lot of people in this country that are like, hey, you know what, women or nobody needs to carry guns. But a lot of times those same people that are saying that are the ones with a protective detail with a bunch of dudes or ladies with, guess what, guns. Okay, meaning they don't give a fuck about what happens to you or your loved ones. They're like, you and your loved ones could go unarmed, okay? Because if something bad happens to you, I don't care. Okay, I'm just gonna keep up here. I'm just gonna keep sitting up here and preaching that you don't deserve to have a weapon. Okay, now I get to have all kinds of weapons protecting me, but not you. Okay, so, but yeah, MaXXXine, who knew? A movie that could be NRA endorsed right there. I mean, it's fantastic. I must say right there. Okay, so, but yeah, fantastic things about this movie to say, but not until after I get me a little drinky. Okay, and that must mean that it is brew review time. All right, so we are going to the land of hula dances and luau's and well, regrettably wildfires here relatively recently, and high prices for everything, and Maisie Hirono. All right, so let's get on a good note here. So yes, this beer for brew review time comes to us from, I was about to say the pineapple state, but whatever they call that state. Hawaii, the state of Hawaii right here, okay? And as you see, we have a little coconut Hiwa Porter from Maui Brewing Company, okay? And this is a hefty dark ale with some Hawaiian hand-toasted coconuts and notes of mocha, okay? And I really did smell the mocha right away. Now, that made it smell great. You could taste the mocha in there. And if that sounds gross to you, what's wrong with you? Okay. That sounds fantastic. And it tastes fantastic. Okay. And it's got this coffee roast aroma to it. And it's got a good smell of it here. So this, oh, yeah. That's good stuff right there. Oh, yeah. Enjoy the flavor. But that flavor isn't overpowering. Okay. It's got perfect levels of flavor. All right. So let me get that. There we go. Get you a better shot at that right there. So, and also it's got these smoky wood notes in it. And when I say notes, I mean, it's very subtle, but subtle in a very tasty way. Now, since I'm pouring on the praise to this beer, I should also let you know, I'm not getting any money from, Maui Brewing Company whatsoever. And so this is a completely objective, unbiased opinion for this beer. I just like this beer. It's pretty fantastic. Now, not all brews that I review on here get a ringing endorsement like this one does. Okay, some of them are frankly dog shit. Okay, so and some of them are an insult to dog shit, but this one is very good. This is very undog shit like. Okay, so I can't think of a better way of praising a beer than that. This beer is very undog shit like. Okay, so but it is it's a porter, but it's not too thick. Okay, a lot of people like to shy away from porters and stouts because they're afraid that it's going to be like drinking a glass of Aunt Jemima or something like that. Like, no, far from it. These guys get the levels just right. It's not too thick. 6% alcohol by volume, so it's got a little bit of a kick to it for a beer. Okay. But I'm sick of yapping about it. I'd rather be drinking this beer here. So first I'm going to take a little sniffy sniff. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to take a drink. So bear with me, everybody. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like swashing that around in my mouth right there. So very good. And as you might imagine, you're probably not going to be able to go and check out or grab some Maui Brewing Company Coconut Highway Porter at your local grocery store or your local gas and go. There we go. Thanks for bearing with that burp right there. Apologies. But you can get this beer after all, probably with like the Open Bar app that you can get on your phone or gopuff.com. That's spelled GOPUFF, gopuff.com, or drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY. Those are kind of like the Amazons of booze delivery, that kind of thing. So, and I'm not getting any money from those websites there. I just want you to be able to get your hands on some fantastic brew. The brew that I like, the brew that I would recommend. Boy, there we go. That kind of went down the wrong tube there a little bit. So that tends to happen sometimes when I'm drinking incorrectly. So absolutely. But get yourself some Maui Coconut Highway Porter. I can't give it any more of a fantastic endorsement. So, and that has been Brew Review Time. All right, so let's get right into more MaXXXine right here. Let's blast off into more MaXXXine, and the gore in this was very good, very good. Ty West has yet to disappoint in his movies. If you're a big gore fan, I know not everybody is. Some people are like, I can't stand gore, I hate it. And more power to you. That's fine. If you're more into like Lifetime movies or Disney Kids or something like that, by all means, that's hey, everybody likes what they like. Okay, so but this has got some good gore. Pardon me, like Kevin Bacon getting footloose and fancy free, being stuck in a car in a car crusher, and he gets crushed to death, and you just see that whole shower of blood eke out from underneath the car, the driver's side door there with the car crusher. And that was that was brutal. Okay, that was very squishy right there. And but I mean, Kevin Bacon did a very good job of playing a character where you're like, I don't mind seeing something like that happen to a character like that. I don't mind whatsoever. That guy's a scumbag, and he was up to no good. And we just Weasley cockroaches like that, if they get crushed in a car crusher, that's all good. That's all good. It kind of reminded me of that scene in Kick-Ass where one of the mob enforcers gets put into a car compactor, and yeah, there you go. It's didn't end up very pretty right there. I'd say any movie with a car compactor, automatically gets a thumbs up from me. Maybe someday they'll come up with a movie called Car Compactor, the motion picture. My God, and that'll be my vote for the Best Picture Oscar right there. Okay, so, good gore with the Kevin Bacon scene where he meets his demise in a car crusher, or the absolutely epic shotgun blast to Maxine's dad's face at the end right there. That is, I'm trying to think of like a better execution of somebody's head just outright getting disintegrated pretty much from a shotgun blast from like just that point blank range right there. I can't think of another movie where they did it as well as this movie. There might have been, it's just not coming to mind. If if there is a movie, it must not have been that fantastic if I can't remember it. Okay. It did kind of remind me of when Oberyn Martell, the Viper in Game of Thrones, played by Pedro Pascal. What thing isn't Pedro Pascal in? Played by Pedro Pascal, when he got his head crushed in by the mountain. If you've seen Game of Thrones, and his head just went okay, and so her dad's head pretty much just getting turned into a gory version of a 7-layer salad suddenly. That the makeup effects artist, I haven't looked up the makeup effects artist for MaXXXine, but golf clap for them by all means right there. They did a fantastic job in this movie, and really all the Ty West movies in this X trilogy has really just outdone themselves with the gore here, starting of course with X, and then with Pearl as well. I mean, that ending in the movie Pearl there where she's basically just chopping up her sister-in-law. Oh my God. It's so brutal right here. But and it's kind of circle back to Maxie, taking a shotgun to her dad's face right there. Again, it's guns really coming to the rescue for our girl in this movie right there. Okay. I mean, it just shows you that so many problems and so many horror movies could be solved with guns. Okay. And, I just, I'm not trying to sound like Gary Guns over here. I mean, I happen to have guns. I have multiple guns here, but it's a good thing that horror movie writers don't have a whole lot of guns in their movies. Okay. Because a lot of horror movies would probably end 5 minutes in to the movie if more of the characters just had some suitable firepower. Okay. And I don't know if you guys watch Louder with Crowder, but I think what is it? He's got Ruger sponsors him or something like that. Some gun company is a sponsor of his show, and I think they did a commercial for them where it basically looks like the beginning scene of the original Scream movie with Drew Barrymore, and she gets a phone call and she gets the guy on the phone. Do you like scary movies? And so the guy breaks in and basically just takes a handgun and just blows the guy away, and the horror movie's over with. And that's the commercial right there for the gun company that Louder with Crowder, or that sponsors Louder with Crowder right there. I thought it was fantastic. So again, that's why a lot of horror movies, they don't have a lot of guns in them right there. You don't watch Friday the 13th and then like 5 minutes in the movie the campers are like, oh man, hey, we got this secret gun vault over here. So let me just enter in this code. Beep, boop, 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 boop. They go inside their gun vault, and they're grabbing all kinds of automatic weapons and whatnot, and then pretty much Friday the 13th would pretty much just be like a short film after that. So it would be in the short film category at the Oscars if there was more firepower in movies right there. So, but MaXXXine uses guns in this, not too much to where the movie would only be 15 minutes long or something like that. So it's a fantastic usage of firepower in this movie right there. Okay, so all right, let me double check here, make sure we don't have any chats or anything like that. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I don't want to be that guy right there that is ignoring somebody. Okay, so don't want to be that dude right there if I can avoid it. So I think we're good to go right there. But yeah, I mean, other points to be to make about MaXXXine right here is, I mean, Ty West always specializes at showing us his wickedly naughty sensibilities in these X trilogy movies. Okay, so in X it was straight up naughty with the main group of characters in it all filming porn at a farm. Then in the, I guess it'd be the prequel to X, called Pearl, we see wicked interlaced with naughty as we see the pure and kind Pearl grinding on a scarecrow. Okay, if you've never seen Pearl, then yeah, the scene where she's grinding on a scarecrow out in the middle of a cornfield, that'll be a scene that you will not soon forget. And then in MaXXXine, we see the wicked and naughty in equal measure. Okay, I mean, after the events of X, where MaXXXine barely made it out alive, she has developed a talent for survival and no patience for anybody, particularly men, even hinting at offending her in any way. Just ask a guy, just ask that guy in the alley, okay, that had his twig and berries severed. Okay, she she went on Ginsu knife with that. Okay, she she basically went all slap chop on his nuts there in that scene. So yeah, just ask that dude whether or not MaXXXine has any tolerance for guys fucking with her right there. I mean, that guy will not be fathering children ever again. Okay. I mean, this movie has balls. I mean, even if that guy no longer does, I mean, it holds nothing back in the brutal road MaXXXine takes in her quest for Hollywood fame. Okay, so for movie fame. Now, if MaXXXine never finds that fame, it wasn't from lack of trying. I mean, you see her putting in the hard work that her contemporaries don't put in. You've got a couple of her friends that are like, let's go to this party. It's up by the Hollywood sign. And MaXXXine, to her credit, she's like, nope. I got to grind. I got to keep grinding. I got to go home and go to bed. I got an early tryout. I got an early whatever. Okay. So she got some early work to do, an early audition. There we go. That's the word I was trying to think of. But instead, they go to parties. Her friends go to parties that might, that end up being the last bad decision that they ever make. Okay. I mean, you see her friends, they're basically, they're on the slab. Okay. They get taken out by what we think is the Night Stalker. But then it turns out that it's pretty much just MaXXXine's dad trying to pin these murders on the Night Stalker. And it gets pretty gory, pretty ghastly there. Now, even in that first scene at an audition, you can see that MaXXXine has it. All right. We all know, we've all heard people say that, certain people have it, right? Okay. You can't put what it is in words, right? But it's kind of like, porn. Okay. Sometimes you can't put it into words, but you know what it is when you see it, right? And so that's when somebody says that somebody has it, that's what we're talking about. And MaXXXine proceeds to hilariously make sure that every other actress still waiting in line to audition knows that she has it and that they have absolutely no shot at the part. Okay, because remember she she's walking down right in front of them all. And she's like, you guys might as well not even go in there because I killed it. Okay. And of course, it drew the ire. Okay. Drew a couple of, fuck you, bitch, get the fuck out of here, from all the other girls still waiting in line right there. But hey, she must have killed it because she got the part, right? And, it just goes to show they call it show business, not show friends. So, and, you see in the movie, MaXXXine is done with the adult entertainment industry. Okay. She wants to go big time by starring in movies where she's not providing horizontal refreshment. Okay. Because you do see earlier in this movie that she is a porn star, but she's trying to get out of that and go into mainstream movies right there, starting with the movie The Puritan 2, which I hope Ty West creates a Puritan movie. Like maybe they'll do The Puritan and they'll do The Puritan 2. Kind of like last year, the horror movie Thanksgiving came out, and that movie was born of a fake movie trailer that was playing during Machete, right? And then so what's his face directed that there. So I think of the director of Eli Roth. Yeah, Eli Roth. I think he directed the trailer for Thanksgiving back in that movie Machete, which came out 15 years ago or something like that. And then that trailer was so popular, he was like, "Hey, I got to make a full-fledged movie of this fake Thanksgiving trailer." So maybe we'll see Ty West, kind of follow that lead a little bit, kind of, go down that same road and make himself a couple of Puritan movies right there. That'd be kind of cool, and make it in the 80s style that we saw. Okay, I mean the 80s are really making a comeback in a cool way. Okay, I mean I know that for like the last 10 years it's kind of been that way, but some shows, some content is brought back the 80s, but in a lame way. But one thing I saw cool today that is very 80s is, so you've got the new Alien Romulus movie that's coming out this August, and the director, it's not Ridley Scott. The director is actually Fede Alvarez, who did the Don't Breathe movies. Yeah, the Don't Breathe movies, and he did an Evil Dead movie. And so he took a scene from the new Alien Romulus movie and sent it to select people, probably critics or studio executives, that kind of thing. And he sent this scene from Alien Romulus, but he sent it to him via VHS tape. I mean, very cool, right? Very cool. And so I thought that was a cool callback to the 80s. Not a lame callback to the 80s, but a very cool callback to the 80s because, if you're my age and you were mostly in your teenage years during the 80s, you know VHS all too well. I mean, VHS tapes back in the 80s were a godsend. Okay, you didn't have to you beg for permission to go to the movies, and you didn't have to basically back before VHS. I mean, if you didn't see a movie in the theaters, you were screwed. Okay, because even before cable, you never seen a movie again unless they re-released it in the theaters, or they did a sorry, sad sack version, like an edited version of it on regular TV. But then VHS came along, like, whoa, hey, I missed it in the theaters. Now all I have to do is wait a few months and it'll be on VHS. It'll be fantastic. And it revolutionized the entertainment industry. Now, it did, lead to the inevitable devaluing of the movie theater experience, unfortunately. So, but I'm kind of torn on that one because I like VHS and then later DVD and then Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray now. But it also did, yes, kind of start the slow demise of the movie, the grand golden days of the movie theaters, right? Okay, because movie theaters, going to the movies at a movie theater used to be like this big event, that your family would get all dressed up and it'd be like this big event that your family would do, and it was a big occasion, and it's kind of like you're getting a Christmas get together with your family or Thanksgiving. It was like this big event, like, whoa, we're gonna go see Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back at the movie theater. Wow, what a great thing! And then now going to the movies is like basically like, just scratching her ass or something like that to a lot of people. I mean, not to me. I still have a love affair with movies and going to see movies at the movie theater, and I love the experience. And I cherish the few communal things that we can do together as people. Okay, so and going to movies at a movie theater is one of those few, remaining communal things that we can do here, especially like when you go see a movie with a bunch of people and you're all reacting, you're all laughing, you're all at the same time, or you're all going, whoa, kick some ass, get him, Rambo. I mean, you're all doing that at the same time. It's just a fantastic experience. And VHS and later, DVD and all that just kind of just made that experience just devalued. Just went, okay, just killed it slowly but surely, and now we are where we're at right there. Okay, so all right, that is that has been my Andy Rooney, Paul Harvey rant moment right there. So I'm sure you guys thoroughly enjoyed that. Okay, so but have no fear, you are about to be saved, because I am going to tell you about a great sponsor that we have of the show, and this great sponsor is Flip City Magazine. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is Flip City Magazine? Well, I shall tell you, all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So remember when we had Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine back in the day, where they wanted to crack you up, they wanted to make you laugh, they wanted you to bust a gut, okay? And that was their numero uno priority. I mean, remember those days? Okay, I mean, I remember them. I remember dependably grabbing a Mad Magazine and seeing Alfred E. Newman and checking the magazines out, and it just, that was my sense of humor, right? I had this goofy sophomore 10-year-old sense of humor, even to this day, okay? And so Mad Magazine was, a go-to, a dependable go-to to make you laugh. Well, unfortunately, Mad Magazine and Cracked have allowed themselves to be assimilated into the woke Borg, okay? There are probably a couple of entities that got their brains broken by Trump, okay? And so they've turned into first-class, grade A assholes, basically, where they've gone woke. But never fear, all right? We got Flip City here to take their place aptly, okay? But, don't take it from me. Let me have them tell you in their own words right now.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
Yo, all right. Yeah, that's been Flip City right there. So right now you should be enticed to grab yourself some Flip City. And so the way to do that is, as it says down below, is to get down and click on that Flip City link in the description down there, all right? And because we want to make it as easy as possible for you to piss your pants from all the funny. Well, let me try to sell it some way, because saying that you're going to urinate yourself because of someone. Let me back up a little bit. Beep, beep, beep. All right, so now it's gonna make you laugh. Okay, you're just gonna be like, you're gonna, maybe if you're having a bad day and you pick up some Flip City, that bad day is going to evaporate. Okay, so, and I know, because hey, you know what? I am not just plugging Flip City. I am a subscriber. Yes, I am right there. So I back up my claims with action. All right. So, and I love checking out some Flip City right here. I mean, just looking in here, I'm like, man, I had a shitty day at work. I just need something to crack me up right there. Oh, yeah, look at that. So that's, we got, what was that I just saw right there? It just reminded me. I got Barbie Forever. You know, I got some good artwork going on there. Okay, so all kinds of good stuff. You got the, a little Walking Dead parody. So all kinds of good stuff here in Flip City. So get yourself some Flip City. And as you see down below, when you click on that link in the description and you pick out your Flip City magazine, if you put in the promo code MOVIES, you're going to get 10% off your order of the best non-woke comic around. All right. I do not lie. All right. So get yourself some Flip City. You will not be sorry, everybody. Do it. All right. So let's move on with the show right there. We got business to attend to, all right? We don't dilly-dally here on Movies America. Spoiler warning whatsoever. No, we do not. And to that end, we are to my favorite segment of every Movies America spoiler warning episode on Thursday nights, and that is the movie military moment, as my eye starts getting all dry and all that. So the movie military moment, why is it my favorite segment of every show? Well, it is my opportunity that I give myself to honor a veteran that has been awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, okay? Because I'm ex-mil myself, and I appreciate the military keeping our nation protected. Okay, it is not an easy job being in the military. You're away from family and friends, and they send you God knows where and whatnot. So, in basic training, is no picnic either. Okay, as I'm sure you've heard, all right, and seen in movies like Full Metal Jacket and all that stuff. So, okay, but so I appreciate anybody that's been in the military. Blah, 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 blah. See, that sounds real fast. But especially those that have been awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does any of this have to do with movies there, fan? Like, explain it to me like I'm a 7-year-old child. Okay. Or explain it to you as if you're me. Okay. So the connection is, as you can imagine, if you are awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, okay, you didn't get awarded that for being a good letter sorter at the base post office, right? Okay. You did something pretty awesome or pretty jaw-dropping, all right? Like you're a helicopter pilot and you're landing a chopper in a hot LZ in Vietnam, or you're fighting an Iwo Jima and you're charging a Jap pillbox, with a grenade, and you're landing on it and taking out a bunch of Japs or something like that, right? Something where if you saw it on a big movie screen, like right in front of you, you would be like, wow, what am I seeing? What is this? This is a very cool movie military moment. That's the connection. Get it? All right, so that's why I'm bringing you a movie military moment tonight. And so the movie military moment that I will be doing tonight will be honoring someone that you have seen in the movies, a character that you've seen depicted in the movies, and that is Major Bruce P. Crandall. And he fought in the Vietnam War. Okay, he was he flew in the Vietnam War. He was a helicopter pilot, and he was in the Ai Drang Valley in Vietnam. Now, if that sounds at all familiar, well, that's because they made a movie about that. A little movie you might know as We Were Soldiers, starring some guy that you may vaguely have heard of. What's his name? Mike Gelson, Mickey Gibson, Mel Gibson. Yeah, there you go. Mel Gibson. That's it. Mel Gibson in We Were Soldiers. Okay. So, yeah, we've got Major Crandall in this movie. And so I am going to do my movie military moment on him. Okay. But as I believe anybody that has been awarded the movie military or who's about to get awarded the movie military moment award tonight, but has already been awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, does deserve their own music. Okay. And to that end, let's get it started right now. This is the movie military moment. And tonight's honoree for this movie military moment is one Major Bruce P. Crandall. And he was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. And let's learn more about Major Crandall, shall we? Major Bruce Crandall distinguished himself by extraordinary heroism as a flight commander in the Republic of Vietnam while serving with Company A, 229th Assault Helicopter Battalion, 1st Cavalry Division, Airmobile. On 14 November 1965, his flight of 16 helicopters was lifting troops for a search and destroy mission from Ply Mai, Vietnam, to the landing zone X-ray in the Ai Drang Valley. On the 4th troop lift, the enemy had landing zone X-ray targeted. As Major Crandall and the first 8 helicopters landed to destroy our troops on his 5th troop lift, his unarmed helicopter came under such intense enemy fire that the ground commander ordered the second flight of 8 aircraft to abort their mission. As Major Crandall flew back to Ply Mai, his base of operations, he determined that the ground commander of the besieged infantry battalion desperately needed more ammunition. Major Crandall then decided to adjust his base of operations to Artillery Firebase Falcon in order to shorten the flight distance to deliver ammunition and evacuate wounded soldiers. While medical evacuation was not his mission, he immediately sought volunteers and, with complete disregard for his own personal safety, led the 2 aircraft to landing zone X-ray. Despite the fact that the landing zone was still under relentless enemy fire, Major Crandall landed and proceeded to supervise the loading of seriously wounded soldiers aboard the aircraft. Major Crandall's voluntary decision to land under the most extreme fire instilled in the other pilots the will and spirit to continue to land their own aircraft, and in the ground forces the realization that they would be resupplied and that friendly wounded would be promptly evacuated. This greatly enhanced morale and the will to fight at a critical time. After his first medical evacuation, Major Crandall continued to fly into and out of the landing zone throughout the day and into the evening. That day, he completed a total of 22 flights, most under intense enemy fire, retiring from the battlefield only after all possible service had been rendered to the infantry battalion. His actions provided critical resupply of ammunition and evacuation of the wounded. Major Crandall's daring acts of bravery and courage in the face of an overwhelming and determined enemy are in keeping with the highest traditions of the military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. And we salute you, Major Bruce P. Crandall, for your service for our country that ended up with you being awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. So everybody watching live right now or later on, salute Major Bruce P. Crandall right now. And that has been our military movie moment. All right, fantastic right there. And like I said here, he has been personified. He has been portrayed in a movie. That movie again being We Were Soldiers. All right, and he was played by Greg Kinnear in We Were Soldiers. And let me just play you one scene from We Were Soldiers where we see Major Crandall portrayed by Greg Kinnear in the shit, man. He's in the shit. He's in the thick of it, all right? He's in the bush right there, all right? So let's check this out real quick. So that's Major Crandall right there.
Medevac Command of the 7th Cavalry, are you inbound?
Forgive the German subtitles right there. Ignore those. Pay those no mind. Nine.
It's pretty hot down there. Yeah, it's a little hot. You can make it, though. Just watch our approach. Follow us in. Copy that, 7th Cav. We will follow your approach.
So just to let you know, this is the I Drang Valley here. This is landing zone X-ray that I was talking about earlier right there. And all the soldiers on the ground, they're led by Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore. That's the character that Mel Gibson portrayed in this movie. As you can see, Charlie is all over the place, and they are close. All right, they're not hidden in the trees, they're not up in the mountains. Okay, they are right there. Okay, I mean, they could. Well, I could say they could shake your hand, but they're not going to shake your hand. They're going to bayonet or shoot your ass. And you thought you had a bad day at the office right there. So, yeah, that's I mean, it just shows you just the hell that Major Crandall had to deal with in winning or being awarded his Congressional Medal of Honor. Okay. But, like it said, he went in there 22 times. He flew into that shit right there that you just saw 22 times. And evacuating the wounded was not his job. Okay, he wasn't one of those guys like, it's not my job. All right, it's not my job. I'm not sacrificing my life. No, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna look out for these people. All right, this guy had balls of solid rock right there. Was he a hero?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he was right there. Was a let out a beer burp. Okay, but yeah, if you haven't seen We Were Soldiers, oh man, check it out. I mean, it's a fantastic movie. It's one of the military movies that flies more under the radar than something like Platoon or Full Metal Jacket. It's not one of the most well-known movies. Saving Private Ryan, it's another very popular military movie. But We Were Soldiers, check that out right there. You will not be disappointed. And you know what? I was going to say grab some Kleenex. Nah, I think you're going to need a sleeping bag. This is a very emotional movie. There's some tough shit to watch in this movie, but you should watch it. It's a movie to see, and don't let the kids watch it. This movie has got some of the goriest, bloodiest war action I've ever seen in my life right there. Okay, so all right, so let me just take a minute here to beg for your money. I mean, to ask you if you are appreciating what you're hearing now or watching right now, where I'm giving you some spoilery information about MaXXXine and giving you the opportunity to live chat with me and talk all about MaXXXine, or basically letting you know about a good brew that you can buy, or doing the movie military moment. If you appreciate that, then enough to throw a buck or two my way, then allow me to tell you how you can do exactly that very thing. So if you're checking me out on YouTube, and give me what's called a super chat. And how you do that is down by where you type in your live chat message. You just got to click on the button with the $1 bill on it. And when you click on that, it'll just ask you, hey, how much do you want to give to this chucklehead over here? And then just pick however amount of money. Let me try again. Pick whatever amount of money you want to send my way, and that'll send that to me. There we go. Wow. And then also, if you're checking me out on Rumble, you can give me what's called a Rumble rant, and pretty much close to the same deal. Down by where you type in your live chat message, there's a button, but it has a $1 bill or $sign on it. So click on that $sign button, and then again, just pick how much you want to throw my way, and you can give me a Rumble rant that way. And then last but certainly not least, if you're on the pilled.net, checking out the show there, you can give me what's called gold pills. And in the pilled world, gold pills equate to good hard cash or cold hard cash. All right. Dinero, clams. All right. Deutschmarks, rubles. All right. Yen, money that I could use to go out there and, buy me some righteous merchandise. Okay. In this Bidenomics time. All right. Because, as everybody knows, in this Bidenomic, catastrophe that we're in right now, we could all use a little bit more money right there. And so if you want to help me out in that endeavor, if you appreciate what I'm doing, by all means, try any of those 3 ways, or try all 3 ways if you're really generous. and just throw money at me 3 different ways, that'd be totally cool right there. I will not object to that whatsoever. I mean, if you did that, man, I'm going to... That is what you will get from me, everybody, all right? So, but if you don't, that's cool. Hey, I just appreciate you watching the show, okay? And even more, hey, this is something you could do that costs you absolutely nothing. You can send this link to this episode to anybody, like text it to them, instant message it to them, whatever, email it to them, whatever you do. Or another thing you could do for me that costs you absolutely nothing is, go and like this episode. I smash that like button down there. Or you can also follow me on any of the outlets that I'm on, like X, Gab, Facebook. I'm all on those platforms under @MoviesMerica. Okay. I'm also on Pilled. And so check me out there. So that, again, that costs you absolutely nothing right there, but it helps me out. I appreciate that. So also, one thing I ask people to do, and again, this absolutely costs you nothing, is if you go on YouTube and you look up Till Death Podcast Network, that's the network that Movies Merica is on, and you find my episodes, it'll say Movies Merica all on YouTube, all right? So after you look up Till Death Podcast Network, and then all you have to do is where you see Movies Merica all, just hit the play all button or whatever, the link, and then it'll do exactly that. It'll play all my episodes. And what that does is it helps me with watch minutes. Okay. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and then that helps with monetization and all that stuff again. And I'm only recommending that to you or asking you to do that because it costs you $0, no money whatsoever. You just got to click a couple of buttons and boom, that just helps me out, and I would sincerely appreciate it there. Okay, so all right, enough of that right there. So right now, I just want to tell you about, or just kind of discuss, since we're discussing horror movies tonight, or in particular, specifically MaXXXine, which is in the horror genre. Okay, and it's also part of a horror trilogy, the X trilogy, along with X and Pearl. I just wanted to just kind of talk about some, top recent horror movies that I've seen. Okay. And let me do this here. I'm just going to do this here. Just going to share my screen. And because I want to give you visual flair with some of the movies that I've seen right here. Just kind of give you the visual style. Right there. There we go. Right there. Let's do that right there. And we'll share the screen. And we'll do this and do that. All right. And let's get that all over there. And absolutely. So, we got Late Night with the Devil right there. That's one of the more recent shows or movies that I've seen here recently that I really did like here. So this is got David Dastmalchian in there, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. And as you see here, you probably recognize him from other things, like he was on the first 2 Ant-Man movies. He was just in Last Voyage with the Demeter. He was the member of Joker's gang in The Dark Knight that Harvey Dent trapped in the ambulance. Remember, he was in the ambulance after they shot Jim Gordon, and then Harvey Dent, he stole the ambulance with David Dastmalchian in the back of it, and he was basically toying with David Dastmalchian in the Dark Knight. So there's been a lot of stuff. Well, in Late Night with the Devil, he plays this Johnny Carson like late night host that he's always chasing Johnny Carson in the ratings. He just can't quite get there. Okay. And the network that his show is on, eventually they come to him and said, hey, you know what? Your ratings are just not up to snuff. All right. And if you don't get them up, you're not getting another contract. Okay. And so he's getting desperate. And so one Halloween night, he brings on the girl that you see here in the frame. And he thinks it's just going to be some good-natured kind of like, little scares there. Not real, just something artificial, but not real, that is going to get all kinds of viewers and that kind of thing. And the girl that you see there, she was in a house with a satanic cult, okay? And everybody in that house, they all died except for her. She's the one remaining survivor of this house full of this devil cult, right? And so there's a psychiatrist that David Dastmalchian also brings onto the show, and so she is kind of like the foster mother to this girl, this survivor, and this girl's got some sinister things about her. Like real quick, real early in the movie, she just gives off this creepy vibe. Okay, and it's some very real, evil, dastardly, gory things happen in this movie here with this Halloween episode on Late Night with the Devil. And so pretty much David Dastmalchian's character has made a deal with the devil, and it's really not worked out too well for him. I'm trying to remember his characters. He had Jack Delroy. So yeah, Jack Delroy, that's the late night host that is competing with Johnny Carson in this show. So yeah, Late Night with the Devil, it's a movie that you should definitely check out. I think it came out like back in like February or March or something like that. So it's one of the, whenever I see someone doing their top movies of 2024 so far, 9 out of 10 times Late Night with the Devil is one of their movies that they have on their top 2024 movies so far. You know, up there with like Dune 2 and those kind of things right there. So, all right, let's check out another movie, a relatively recent movie that I really did enjoy here. And let's go with Talk to Me. Yeah, it's Talk to Me right there. The movie from last year, directed by the Philippou brothers from Australia. Yes. And the really fascinating thing about the Philippou brothers is that this is their first movie, period. I mean, they're YouTube creators, and they've made like a bunch of YouTube shorts. They have I think their YouTube channel is called Raka Raka. And so they just did YouTube videos for the longest times, that feature a lot of stunts and that kind of thing. Well, Talk to Me is their first feature film. It got picked up, I believe, by A24, and it is a fantastic movie. It is seriously creepy, and it's got this genius new device or whatever that they play into the horror. And as you see there, right there, it all evolves around like this hand, right? This evil hand that you grip on. And basically what you do with that hand is you grip it and you say, I can't remember how it goes. Like you say, talk to me. And then you say something else. Like, what is it? Talk to me, or let's do this here real quick. I'm just going to I'm cheating.
Apparently it was the hand of someone that could connect with the dead.
I heard it was the hand of a Satanist. The other hand's just out there.
White people shit, man, I tell you.
All right, let's do this. You know the drill. Say, talk to me.
Talk to me.
Haley, fucking stop it. He's choking.
83 seconds, get it off him.
So I think it's what it is you say, like, first thing you say is I'm open or something like that. And you grip that, you take the hand, you grip the hand, you say I'm open, and that like lets the spirit rule, like where you can see the spirit, you can see the ghost, okay? And then if you say talk to me, then it enters your body and it takes over your body, something like that. All the more reason to check out Talk to Me so that you can watch it yourself and see how it operates, and then you'll see that I'm likely dead wrong. My explanation is dead wrong because it's been too long since I've seen this movie. And then you'll laugh and go like, Van was dead wrong. He sucks. All right. But yeah, check out Talk to Me. It's got some great performances, and it's got one of the most brutal scenes that I can remember in long memory from a horror movie. And also it's got a visual of, you've got heaven, you've got hell, and then right in between, some religions believe in limbo. It's got like this nightmarish, like nightmare fuel visual of what limbo is. It's amazing. So it's a very a very unique, very original horror movie. Talk to Me. Check it out right there. And they're also coming out with a sequel, imaginatively called Talk to Me. Pardon me. Where it's going to be Talk and then To Me right there. So that's coming out sometime soon right there. All right. And then another recent horror movie that I have to recommend to you here if you haven't seen it already is, of course, as you see, I'm typing in Barbarian. Barbarian is so damn good right here. And so Barbarian is one thing that makes it good is it's original. Okay. It's like Talk to Me is original. Like Late Night with the Devil is original. Barbarian has this premise where you've got this young lady and she is in Detroit, so shitty ass Detroit, for like a job interview, and she gets a B&B. She rents a B&B, and his B&B is like in this crappy neighborhood. Okay, so well, I know it's hard to believe Detroit has a shitty neighborhood, right? And so she rents this B&B, and so when she gets there, there's some dude played by Bill Skarsgård that is already staying there. Well, of course, they go through the whole, hey, wait, you reserved it same time as I did? Well, you deserve. Did they reserve it? Like, well, no, I haven't. For the same day they do with that whole rigmarole, right? And so they kind of set it up where you have this expectation, like, oh man, I think this woman is in danger, perhaps from Bill Skarsgård, and then they kind of flip it on you. And then you find out there's a lot more to this B&B than you think. Okay, they get down in the basement and they see some creepy things in the basement, and then they go even more. It's even further into the basement, and then some hellaciously violent shit goes down, and then the movie just kind of flips again on its head and turns into something else, but in a genius way, and then. It's a fantastic movie. It's one of those movies where it's very hard to describe, and really you should just watch Barbarian. Okay, just watch it, and it's going to be a movie where you're going to find you're thinking about it long after you've seen the movie. Okay, it's going to stick with you. Okay, like a big old sticky plate of barbecue ribs. Okay, it's going to stick in your gut. Okay, you're going to be thinking about it a lot there, and it's got some great performances in it. The way this is written, the performances required a lot out of these actors right there, and they pulled it off, just in shining fashion. Okay, they did a fantastic job, and this movie is, which it's not going to give you any better of an opinion of Detroit than you have already. Okay, so the Detroit Chamber of Commerce is not going to be recommending this movie at all. But it involves a time jump in it that is very, very, very cool. That adds to the creepiness of the movie. It's just a grimy, it's really grotesque in some parts, but in a delicious, delicious way. So Barbarian is a fantastic recent horror movie with that. It's got Justin Long, Bill Skarsgård in it as well. I forget what the young lady's name is. Yeah, Georgina Campbell right there. So yeah, she's in that right there. So let me get that crap off the screen right there. All right, get out of here. There we go. All right. So that was Barbarian. Okay, so we'll get Barbarian off of there right there. What's another show that I definitely want to have you check out right there? That is going to be what should we go with there? So many good ones right there. Let's go with Smile. Yeah, Smile is another one right there. That is a fantastic movie right there. And this one actually stars the daughter of one of the actors that is in MaXXXine. Okay, we've got Sosie Bacon in here. Yes, the daughter of Kevin Bacon is in Smile right here. And Smile is another original movie. And we got Sosie Bacon. She plays like this doctor, the psychiatrist here, I believe, something like that. and she has like this patient come in, and this patient comes in and she is scared out of her mind. Okay. She's like, somebody's following me. It's going to come for me. It's going to get me at some point. It's going to get me. It's coming for me. And of course, Sosie Bacon is like, what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then pretty soon, all of a sudden, the girl is just standing there with this creepy smile on her face right there. And then that's kind of where it starts out at. And then so Sosie Bacon starts kind of going and doing an investigation with what's going on here, this phenomenon. It leads to just all kinds of different layers in this phenomenon with this creepy smile that spans the world. And I'm not going to say any more than that. I already feel like I'm spoiling it for you, but it's now you have to bear with it because it kind of starts out a little slow. All right. When I first watched it, I was like, okay, it's not really grabbing me. It's not a movie that really grabs you from the very beginning. Like Talk to Me is a movie that will grab you right from the jump. Okay. Because the opening scene in Talk to Me really just grabs you. Okay. Just grabs you by the nutsack. Like, you are going to watch this movie right here. And hey, we've got a little Till Death Podcast, my compadres from the Till Death Podcast. What's up, dude? All right. It says, I haven't seen the last bunch of movies you reviewed, so I don't want them spoiled. I don't blame you right there. And yeah, so I just wanted to stop by and say, what's up? So yeah, and I'm glad you did. Absolutely. I appreciate you doing that. It touches me right here, man. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it very spoiler free with the descriptions of these movies that I've seen, because I'm not gonna assume that people have seen these, and it sounds like I just got confirmation of that very fact right there. But Smile has got some of the creepiest imagery that I've seen in a movie. And now you will not think of Sosie Bacon as like this Nepo baby kind of actress. She holds her own in this movie. She holds her own, and the plot, the writing in this is so fantastic because you're going to be sitting there and constantly like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Don't hold it back from me. I want to find out what's going to happen next. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen to her? What's going to happen to her? And it's got all kinds of, just shocking moments in the most unexpected times and unexpected moments in the movie. Now, no, Kevin Bacon does not make an appearance in this, but he does not. But Cal Penn does make a appearance in this. So Kumar from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Kumar is in this movie. Now he's a world-class dickhead in real life, but hey, Cal Penn, he does a serviceable job in this movie. And of course, he was hilarious as Kumar in Harold and Kumar movies there. But Smile is the latest recent horror movie that I have to recommend here. Should we do another one? Yeah, I think we should do another one here. I don't want to deprive you of any other ones. Let's do the Invisible Man right there, if I can find it. There we go. The Invisible Man. Okay. So Invisible Man stars Elizabeth Moss. Okay. Now, do you remember that Tom Cruise Mummy movie? Remember that? Where it was supposed to be like the start of a new like monster verse for Universal. They were going to try to recreate or kind of create the modern version of like the movies from the 30s or 40s, the Wolfman and the Mummy and Dracula and Invisible Man. They're going to try to recreate those movies, but for a modern audience. All right. Well, the Mummy, of course, with Tom Cruise came out. It was a flop. The movie totally sucked ball sack. Terrible. Well, then The Invisible Man was, I think, the second attempt at the MonsterVerse thing for Universal. And this one was the exact opposite of sucking balls. Okay, this is a fantastic entry in the MonsterVerse that they were trying to create. Now, I think they've since scrapped the idea for creating this modern MonsterVerse for Universal. But The Invisible Man, I remember I was just talking about a horror movie that just grabs you from the jump. Okay, just like it grabs you by the neck. It starts out and excites you and makes you want more, like right from the very first minute. The Invisible Man is exactly like that. Okay, it starts off with this very creepy, tense beginning with fantastic music here. Who did the music for this right here? The music for this is just lights out fucking good. Benjamin Wallefish did the music for this, so I don't know. I've kind of vaguely heard of him, so he's not as famous like Hans Zimmer or John Williams or anything like that. But this is directed by Leigh Whannell, and you probably know Leigh Whannell. He directed Upgrade, that movie Upgrade. Well, maybe I should take that back. You probably don't know him from Upgrade, because Upgrade, me and about 5 other people saw the movie Upgrade with Leigh Whannell. What else is he? He's done something more famous than that. What else has he done? He did Insidious. Okay, yeah. Aquaman. Let's do the directors here. Let's see, director. Yeah, Upgrade, Invisible Man, Insidious Chapter 3. Yeah, so he hasn't done much as far as directing and that kind of thing. But The Invisible Man, it's a fantastic movie. It's a kind of a more technical, more modern, technological take on The Invisible Man, and it gives you those creepy moments that you would expect to get from a movie with the premise of an invisible man somewhere, right? I mean, you're helpless, right? The Invisible Man has this obvious advantage that you don't have, right? That, he can do all kinds of menace, all kinds of dastardly shit to you, because he can sneak up on you. He can be around you at any time. And the Invisible Man in this is truly, truly evil, okay? And so it's the atmosphere that the Invisible Man builds, the emotional performance from Elizabeth Moss. She just sells it in this movie. Just fantastic. And also, who else is we have in this movie that you might recognize here? I keep forgetting about IMDb. Yeah, you really don't. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot of actors in this that you might know. Aldous Hodge, you might know him. He was he just in Black Adam, and he was in that. What's that? Here, let me look it up here. I'm going to cheat. I love IMDb. It's such a what's that TV series he's in with Kevin Bacon? There. So it's he was in that previous. He's in this. Yeah. What's Invisible Man? City on a Hill. There you go. City on a Hill. He's in that TV series with Kevin Bacon right there. But The Invisible Man, fantastic movie. Leigh Whannell. Also check out Upgrade. Okay, let's add a few more people that have seen the movie Upgrade from Leigh Whannell. That's a fantastic action movie. It's a futuristic action movie in that. It's not a horror movie. That's more kind of a bloody, violent, futuristic action movie right there. But The Invisible Man is fantastic. And we do want to hear on time right there. So we're doing good. We're doing good. Let's just keep on going through here. Let's see here. All right. Hey, we got Poo Monkey here in the hizzy right there. Yes, and he's got something to say right there. Yeah, he's got Poo Monkey coming with the information. Yeah. Good to see you as well. And it says Leigh Whannell was in Saw with James Wan right there. Yeah, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye when I was looking up Leigh Whannell about Saw right there. So he's kind of like Mel Gibson. He's an actor and a director. But Leigh Whannell, fantastic. And Poo Monkey, have you seen Upgrade, that other Leigh Whannell movie? And have you seen The Invisible Man? And if you have, let me know what you think of them right there, because those are a couple of movies that not a whole lot of people have seen, because The Invisible Man, as good as it was, did not get a whole lot of box office love, okay, with that. It's so unfortunate, because it doesn't say Marvel Studios The Invisible Man or DC's The Invisible Man, so it doesn't have that advantage to it. But great movie, The Invisible Man, right there. All right, and let's try this here. And let's keep it going, man. Let's keep this train running. Why don't we? Let's do Cobweb next. Cobweb is another recent horror movie that I have seen. And this one has Homelander in it. Yes, it's got Homelander in it. You'll see here in just a second. Got Homelander in it as well. And we've got Lizzie Kaplan. Probably know Lizzie Kaplan from True Blood on HBO. She was in Cloverfield. She was in Cloverfield. And she was in with the Joy, or what was that? Masters of Sex on Showtime. And The Interview. She basically, you look at her like, oh, I've seen her in movies. And of course, I got Homelander right there, Anthony Starr in this. And so this one is a movie that, again, I have to preface my recommendation with, it's a slow burn at the very beginning. It's kind of slow. It doesn't grab you right off the bat. It makes you have to work for it. Okay. But the payoff is phenomenal. Okay. And this has to do with, mom and a dad and a kid. And this kid just starts hearing weird things and experiencing these kind of paranormal seeming things in the house. The parents are just off the wall, awkward and stilted and strict and just kind of weird and that kind of thing. And all does not seem right. Okay. And then that comes into fruition hardcore, okay, later on with that later on. And so you start, it starts kind of getting into, is it supernatural? Is it not? You've got the teacher there that is concerned for the little boy, what the little boy's name is Peter. And so the teacher, Miss Devine, is concerned for a student because she sees some weird behavior from him, and she goes to his house and meets his mom and meets his dad and is immediately creeped out because Anthony Starr and Lizzie Kaplan just knock it out of the park at playing these really just awkward, sinister parents that you're like, yeah, something is just not right. Something is rotten in Denmark about these parents right here. And it's got a lot of dark atmosphere to it. And it's you will not be sorry that you checked out this movie. And I think you'll be proud of yourself because if you can make it through the slow first half hour, 40 minutes of it, yeah, you'll be patting yourself on the back. You'll have that sense of accomplishment. Like, yes, I made it through this movie. Pumaki says, I haven't seen The Invisible Man, but I think I've seen Upgrade. Upgrade. I think it's one of those movies. I think if you see like the trailer for it, you'll probably know right off the bat whether you've seen it right there. But that is one of those movies. It reminds me of Total Recall, the good Total Recall, the original one from 1990, in that it's a futuristic action movie with some incredibly bloody gore to it. I mean, it's an Upgrade is no different. Some of the kills with the bad guys in that movie. Wow. It's just fantastic right there. It's just like you're sitting there. I was watching that movie, and the whole time I was like, damn. Yeah. And then I watch it for another 5 minutes, and another bad guy meets his end, and again I say, damn. Just a whole movie of me constantly saying, damn. Yeah, so, but Upgrade, check that out. Okay, so, all right, here, let's go and close out my recent horror movie recommendation with one of the movies in the X trilogy that MaXXXine is a part of, okay? And right here, X is the first in the X trilogy, okay? And it's, of course, directed by Ty West, who directed X, and then the second movie was Pearl, and then the third and final movie was MaXXXine, that the show is about tonight. And as you see there in the description, in 1979, a group of young filmmakers, porn filmmakers, set out to make an adult film in a rural Texas farm. But when their reclusive elderly hosts catch them in the act, the crew finds themselves fighting for their lives. And so the elderly couple, one of them is named Pearl. She's like this really friggin' crusty, dusty, ancient lady that she wanted to be a big Hollywood star herself. Kind of like, not kind of, but exactly like MaXXXine wants to be in the movie MaXXXine. and things don't go so well for her. And so we see her. So that's the plot of Pearl. They show Pearl as a young girl trying to be a star, right? And then X, Pearl is an old lady, okay? And so X is just a callback to kind of the pulpy, exploitative, violent slasher films of the late 70s, early 80s that obviously Ty West has a love affair with. And it's just a fantastic movie. It's raunchy, it's grimy, like MaXXXine is, and it's got some moments in it where you're like, oh, okay. Involving a couple of really, really old people just doing something, and I'll let your imagination run wild with what I'm talking about there. Okay, so it's a hot. X is, but it is entertaining. Okay, it's very entertaining. Another movie where you are going to be like, man, what happens next? I'm not turning this movie. I just got grossed out. Okay, but I'm going to keep on watching this movie. This movie is so good. And then if you flame out early and you turn the movie off early, you are so don't be that. Okay, so but X is fantastic. And then if since I'm recommending X, you should just check out Pearl, which is the second movie, and then of course MaXXXine. And hopefully you've seen MaXXXine already. Otherwise, I've just spoiled MaXXXine there for you with this whole episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. But X stars Mia Goth, and she plays MaXXXine in this. Okay, before we see MaXXXine in MaXXXine. Okay, there we go. I must be getting very, very tired if I can't remember that right there. But it's like, and it's got some great 70s and 80s music too. Well, actually 70s music, because it takes place in 1979, as I read off earlier. And it's fantastic. Got Jenna Ortega. If you're a fan of Jenna Ortega, she's in it as well. Martin Henderson is in it. Probably know him. He was Naomi Watts's kind of, I guess, boyfriend in The Ring. Remember the Ring movie that came out like 22 years ago or however long that was? So he was the guy that at the end you saw something very bad happen to him at the end of The Ring. Not to spoil that movie. It's 22 years old at this point now. But yeah, so it's got Kid Cudi in there as well. And he's not rapping in this movie. Okay, he's just playing a porn star in this movie. But X is the latest movie that I would recommend for you. The latest recent horror movie that I would definitely check out there. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to stop that, and hopefully you guys have gotten some good recommendations for some recent horror movies that you should check out if you haven't checked them out already. And I am not going to recommend a movie that I even have one inkling that you are not going to like. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Okay, because I mean, I know when people recommend movies to me and they're dog shit, I want to kick their ass too. Okay, not figuratively, of course. But when they recommend a movie to me and they're like, oh, this is a great movie, and it sucks, their movie recommendation credibility went from 100 to -17. Okay, so I'm trying to not have my movie recommendation credibility with you go down to -17. Okay, so I very carefully and with a lot of, I was about to say, very carefully and with a lot of care, that makes no sense, came up with this list right there. Okay, I put my team of scientists all wearing white lab coats on this list, and this is what we've come up with. Okay, so there you go. And that has been my top recent horror movies I've seen recently, everybody, right there. Okay, and so now is the time to let you know what movie I'm going to be reviewing this next week, okay? Because we've wrapped up this week of MaXXXine, and now it's time to move on to new things. And next week's movie is going to be Longlegs. Yes, we're going to keep the horror movie train rolling along, chugging along here on Movies Merica. So that is the latest movie with Nicolas Cage and Maika Monroe. And it's supposed to be a very creepy, crawly horror movie dealing with serial killing and that kind of thing. And Nicolas Cage being creepy in it. And Nicolas Cage, as we all know, can do a masterful job at being very creepy, okay, when he's not trying to, stop terrorists on Alcatraz, or being a vampire in Vampire's Kiss, or shooting guns at John Travolta and Face Off. He could be a very creepy character if he so desires. And so I guess that's what he's doing here. And Long Legs, I don't know what's up with the title, but I'm sure that answer will be, or that question will be answered when I see Long Legs this afternoon, this weekend. There we go. So this Sunday's Movies Merica Live episode will be about Long Legs, and that episode will be on this Sunday afternoon at 4 Eastern, okay, 3 Central, 2 Mountain, and 1 Pacific, and that'll be spoiler-free, my spoiler-free review of Long Legs, okay? And then, of course, a week from tonight, Movies Merica spoiler warning will be about Long Legs, but I will be getting all spoilery. I'm going to spoil you rotten about Long Legs. And if you're watching the show live right now, you know what time that this show comes on. But it comes on at 7 Eastern. There we go, 7 Eastern. 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific. There we go. God, man, I'm losing it. I better wrap it up here very, very soon because my brain is going night. So yeah, check that out here. Long Legs will be the movie of next week right there. And let's check out here. Let's make sure I'm not ignoring anybody there. Let's see what we got here hey, we got the Gray Man here on the show here in the Pilled world right there. Good to see you, the Gray Man. I am going to red pill your live chat right there. There you go. Good to see you. And I love that. Yeah, I love that sticker right there with the dude just like a total boss, unfurling his lawn chair there. It's like, like a boss right there. The Gray Man, good to see you there. Welcome to the show. And I'll make sure, and I've been derelict in my duty. I didn't refresh the live chat and see how long you've been in there right there. But if you haven't checked out my entire list of recent horror movies that I would recommend, yeah, I definitely would recommend you checking out that list and checking out any that you have not seen. And also, after you've seen the movies, after my recommendation, please get in the comments down below, okay, and let me know. My God, Van, what were you smoking? You recommended Barbarian. I hated that movie. Or what are you doing? What are you doing to me? I thought we were friends. Why are you recommending Cobweb? Oh my God. So let me know that in the comments, okay? I'm not a dainty little girl. I can take it, okay? I'll only cry for 5 hours and then I'll be done. Or, hey, even better, let me know. Dude. Oh my God. Thanks for the recommendation for The Invisible Man. Oh my God. It was tremendous. Okay. I love those comments as well. Okay. Love them. So yeah, let me know that as well down in the comments. All right. So we are getting ready to wrap it up over here. And I can't wrap it up here without letting you guys know about some locations that you should check out. And hey, Poo Monkey is there in the Pilled live chat as well. So Poo Monkey is just all over the place, traveling everywhere. He's Rumble and Pilled. Love it. So, all right, let's get on with the show here. We've got music. We got items to attend to. So here's the locations that you should definitely check out. And the first one is solo.to/movies Merica. And why would you want to go there? Well, that is a location, a one-stop shop for all the links that you can click on that have anything to do with yours truly, Movies Merica. Okay, so if you are wanting to know, like, hey, how can I see all your previous episodes of Movies Merica? Well, if you go to solo.to/movies Merica, there's going to be a link to that there. There's going to be a link there to my critic list page, my letterbox page, all kinds of stuff that I'm in right there. So go to solo.to/movies Merica for that. And then moving on, I have my moviesmerica.com website. And what you're going to find there is my audio-only version of my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday afternoons, okay? So that's like the podcast versions of those, okay? And so you can go to moviesmerica.com for that, or if you want to, another place that you could, or places that you can check out my audio only is basically the podcast versions of my spoiler-free reviews. You can go to pretty much anywhere you would imagine you could listen to podcasts. Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any of those places, you'll find my Movies America spoiler-free episodes there, audio only, of course. And then if you happen to go there to listen to them there, feel free to give it a 5-star rating. That'd be fantastic. And then typically up towards like the tippy top at the top right, there's a follow or subscribe option. Feel free to do that in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, that kind of thing. All right. So, all right. And then also I am on the social medias. Yes, I'm on X and Instagram and Gab. I'm on Facebook and Pilled and Rumble and all that stuff under @Movies Merica. Okay. Check me out there and then, follow me or subscribe to me on those locations or at those platforms. And then if you do, feel free to DM me on X and let me know, hey, Van, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform and that platform. So you need to follow me back on that platform and that platform and that platform and that platform. And I will. Okay. So you scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours in the most non-gay way you can imagine. Okay. So, all right. And so moving on, we got tdpn.locals.com. Won't get into that too much there because I already went into that a little earlier, but that is our Till Death Podcast Network website, tdpn.locals.com. Check out all our fantastic content right there. All right. And the Gray Man says, been lurking, had to do the dinner thing. I understand. You need sustenance. You need sustenance. You're a growing boy. You need your food. You need your vitamins. All right. Next is our merch store. Okay, get yourself some Till Death Podcast Network related merch, specifically some Movies Merica merch. Okay, and we're making it easy for you because all you have to do is click on the merch store link down in the description, and then when you get into the merch store, all you got to do is just kind of scroll down a little bit because I don't think the Movies Merica stuff is right up at the top. Maybe it has, maybe it's changed. But if you don't see the Movies Merica stuff like right up at the tippy top of the merch store page, you just got to scroll down a little bit and you'll see Movies Merica t-shirts, Movies Merica phone cases, all kinds of assorted Movies Merica goodies right there, okay? And you know what? Labor Day is right around the corner, and who doesn't give people gifts for Labor Day? Come on, all right? So then we got Christmas, coming up here in a few months. So, yeah, don't be the typical normie that waits to the last minute to get all their Christmas gifts. Get them ahead of time, all right? Give the gift of Movies Merica to your loved ones right there. And you know what? You might sway some family members that hate your guts to showing some affection, to sway them to getting along with you again through the magic of Movies Merica merch right there. So do it. And then next is @Till Death Network, solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. And that's the one-stop shop where you can see all the links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. Chances are you're probably going to see some Movies Merica links in there as well. Okay, so again, that's to save you from having to spend 17 hours trying to find all the pages and all the things that have to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. Save yourself a migraine and just go to solo.to/Till Death Pod Network right there. Okay, so, and then next is solo.to/Till Death Studios. And that's the one-stop location for all links that have to do with the Till. Or let me back up here. Apparently that 4th of July vacation time was way too long, and I'm like a rookie here on the show. So solo.to/Till Death Studios. Why you would want to go there is if you are in the content creation game. So if you're like me or Ian or Sean, the others, the other part of the triple threat on the Till Death Podcast Network, if you got a show like me and you want to enhance the show with some cool flair, like the intros that you saw at the beginning of this show, or the background that you see here, or the overlay up at the very top. Okay. if you want to enhance your show with stuff like that, go to solo.to/tilde studios. And my man Ian is going to hook you up with his skills that pay the bills, okay? But you have to take the first step to get the ball rolling on that by going to solo.to/tildestudios, all right? And then solo.to/I'm Sean Cav is where you go for all the links that have to do with my man Sean, who, again, is also here on the Till Death Podcast Network. And that's where he has all his links to his Sipping with Sean show. That'd be one link that he would have there. You can find his link to all the Sipping with Sean episodes, okay? And also, I'm sure if you want to see the latest episode for Sipping with Sean every week, go to solo.to/I'm Sean Cav and check it out there. I'm sure he's got some music links in there because he's a bass guitarist, and he's probably got some life advice links in there as well. So get there. I mean, you should be tantalized to get there with my awesome description at this point. Okay, so all right, and then next is solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist, and that's where you go for all the links that have to do with that crazy, wild, and wacky show called the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast that you check out every Monday and Wednesday nights, and then every other Tuesday night. Okay, and that is with Ian and Sean, or Sketchy Jesus. Okay. And solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist is where you find all the links that have to do with that wild and wacky, the Whiskey Capitalist podcast show right there. Okay. And last but certainly not least is solo.to/Till Death Podcast. And you guys have heard of the Till Death Podcast show, the flagship show that started it all for the Till Death Podcast Network. Well, solo.to/Till Death Podcast is where you go for all the links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast show that is on every other Saturday afternoon, done by Ian and his lovely bride, Jen, where they go over the latest headlines, the hot button issues of the day, and funny videos, all with their perspective that is marinated in their marital mirth, okay? And I did not mean to make that sound disgusting, okay? It is quite the opposite of that. It is very entertaining, okay? And you will laugh your ass off, and you will join them while they hang out in their what was I going to say? I almost said the word proximity. In their palatial studios, okay, that they do the Till Death Podcast from right there, okay? So, all right, and that has wrapped that up here for all those fantastic links right there. So, yeah, check out all those locations. All right, and now it's time to reward my friends that are in the Pilled live chat here. So they've worked hard staying there in the live chat there on Pilled, and so their hard work must be rewarded. And the way I do that is doing what we call releasing the Kraken. And just in case you're not familiar with that particular process or thing, what that is so remember how I said in Pilled, gold pills equate to moolah, to real world money? Well, releasing the Kraken, what that means is I'm going to release a bunch of gold pills from the sky, okay? Like manna coming down from heaven, all right? So remember the Bible, all right? If you heathens have ever read the Bible, and they had manna coming down from heaven, okay? Well, in this case, it's not manna. It's going to be gold pills raining down on my very good friends there in the Pilled live chat right there. And so that shall commence here very directly in real quick. There we go. I got to get my ducks in a row. So the scratching is about to be released in 3, 2, 1, blast off. There we go. All right. So you crazy kids there in the Pilled live chat, you enjoy those gold pills, all right? And you guys, just spread them around, and you guys don't fight over them, all right? So it's like, going through your candy on Halloween, like don't fight over the Kit Kat bars, okay? Don't. I was about to say don't fight over the nice and plenties or good and plenties, but who the hell ever wants the good and plenties? No, nobody wants the good and plenties out of the Halloween candy. Hell no. All right, Pooh Monkey. Oh yeah, Pooh Monkey is getting himself some gold pills right there from the scratching. All right, so glad I could help out right there. Hopefully that'll help out the family. Okay, I'm sure you're probably going to be able to buy a house with all those gold pills now. So, right. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap up this episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, going over MaXXXine. But real quick, let me remind you that, go ahead and like this episode. Just drop kick that like button down there if you would on this episode. And then also, whatever platform you're watching this on, whether you're watching it live or watching the recording of it, go ahead and hit that subscribe or follow button down there, okay? So on YouTube, on Rumble, on Pilled, there's a subscribe or follow button of some sort there. Go ahead and do that. Follow me there. And again, like I said before, DM me on X or comment on one of my episodes and say, hey, Van, all right, a promise is a promise. You said if I follow you on a platform and I let you know, you'll follow me back. So now it's time to prove, Van, if you're a lying scumbag or if you're a man of honor. And I will prove to you that I am a man of honor and follow you back, all right? So just a little reminder. And then also, again, if there's anybody you even remotely suspect would appreciate this episode or all my episodes, go ahead and send them the link to this episode or send them the link to the page on YouTube or Rumble or Pilled with all my episodes right there. I would sincerely appreciate it. And then one last thing to beg you guys to do is like the Gray Man or Pooh Monkey or whoever right there, if you guys want to do something for me, as if you guys haven't done enough for me already, but if you want to do one last thing for me that costs you absolutely nothing except for maybe a couple of mouse clicks there and maybe a minute of your time, if you go to YouTube, okay, and I know YouTube is persona non grata, but you're helping me out. If you go to YouTube and you look up Till Death Podcast Network there, well, you'll see Movies Merica underneath that, okay? And then you'll just have to scroll down a little bit and you'll see Movies Merica All, meaning that's where all of my Movies Merica episodes are at. And then right there, you just got to click the Play All option, and it'll do exactly that. It'll play all my episodes right there. And then it'll bring it to a page there. And if you want to go this a little further, it'll bring you to a page where it shows all my episodes. And there's a button that says Loop All, okay? And it'll do exactly that. It's going to just keep looping the videos. It's going to keep looping my episodes over and over again, okay? And that just helps me out with watch minutes on YouTube. So basically, YouTube's like, wow, a lot of people are watching Movies Merica. Wow, we should probably let this guy monetize on YouTube right there. And so it just kind of helps out with that. And one thing of warning, if you reboot your PC and you bring up that tab, you'll probably have to hit the play button again on that. But you can just do it on a tab and just mute it so you don't have the episodes playing. You don't have to listen to it. You can mute it and then just have them just play on a loop. That would be fantastic. I would sincerely appreciate that. And again, costs you absolutely nothing. Okay, so you'll only have to do it once. Okay, but again, if you close the tab or you reboot or your computer locks up, you'll probably have to go on that tab, and all you have to do is just hit the play button, and that's all you'll have to do. So appreciate your kind attention and patience for me going through all of that right there. I know, I know you're probably like, what the hell? What are you doing, man?
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
Probably think I'm crashing and burning right now. So, all right. So it's time to wrap this up. But again, I appreciate you guys checking out the show. But with that, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey! I got the police after me. They're coming after me, okay? But I got just enough time to ask you. Just like this video, if you would, and then subscribe to this channel, okay? I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. I gotta tell you. And so before they haul me off, make sure you watch these videos over here, okay? And thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? I gotta go.